Quiet on the set.
Camera speed.
Sound production, take one.
Action!
AKAPADers, welcome back. Oh, I love random, what I view as just absolutely random drops like this, because I was scrolling through Netflix, scrolling, click, 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 click. Green Mile comes across the screen. And I just said to myself, like, when does this movie kick in? Stick with me here. Like, when do we see the movie? When does it start to formulate? When is the point that we cannot get away from this thing? It's a mouse. The death of the mouse. The resurrection of the mouse. That's the point. And from that point on in this movie, directed, screenplay, Frank Darabont. We know him. The Mist. We love this movie. We know him. Shawshank Redemption. Now a movie a lot of people say should have gotten Best Picture, because that's the movie of the year that was released. That's resonated. It's resonated more than Pulp Fiction. Resonated more than Forrest Gump. Shawshank. It's viral. He's got this Stephen King weird trilogy. It's one of the most amazing filmographies ever. The death of the mouse, the resurrection of the mouse, and what comes after. I had forgotten. I forgot that, geez, the cast in this movie. Sam Rockwell. The way, his revelation. And then my fiance and I, we're just locked in. She goes to take a quick shower, stop the movie. That's how I know. Because we live close, right? We get in the AKAPAD empire here. We have rooms, but we live close. It's the only way I appreciate living with a woman, is when you're close, when you are just constantly hearing each other breathe. So when you share things, right? Like when things are good and euphoric, it's infectious. It goes from person to person. So I know she's locked in. And then there's this score, Thomas Newman. I forgot about him in this movie. Cinematography, David Tattersall. Should we talk about him? Later, 2001, The Majestic. Speed Racer, 2008. What a great year for him. Speed Racer, the remake of The Day the Earth Stood Still. Fantastic movie. Underrated. 2022, Memory. Liam Neeson. We'll talk about that. Star Wars Episode 1, Phantom Menace. Die Another Day, Star Wars Episode 2, Star Wars Episode 3. Triple X, State of the Union, one of the movies I could not finish watching. I always loved the look. I love it when these things come together. 2003, Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, Cradle of Life. What a wonderful looking movie. Let's give him a couple props though. 97, Con Air. 98, Soldier, Kurt Russell, Paul W.S. Anderson, and Theodore Rex with Whoopi Goldberg, 1995. That's our cinematographer. This movie cost $60 million, made almost $300 million. Right there, embedded in the Oscar race. And then the cast. Tom Hanks, David Morse. We're just going right through what's on Wiki here. Bonnie Hunt, Michael Clark Duncan, James Cromwell, Michael Jeter, Graham Greene, Doug Hutchinson. Doug Hutchinson, beyond good in this movie. We already spoke. Sam Rockwell, Barry Pepper, right? These two. Saving Private Ryan crew. Jeffrey Dunman, Patricia Clarkson, Harry Dean Stanton. This is one of the great.
Roll sound.
Rolling.
Sound production,
Let
take
me
2.
cut in. Sorry, AKA Padders. I know it's such a hot, passionate episode, but I'm breaking the flow real quick just to remind you guys. If you want to support me, one of the best, easiest, and free ways to do it, leave a comment. Give me a like. I know there's someone out there that you know that loves film as much as I do, that love the film industry as much as I. Show this to them. Comments, likes, and reviews, positive or negative, it doesn't matter. We need to increase our reach, and to do that requires you. Your involvement in everything that I do. We're linked. We're forever bound. You're the membrane. I'm the muscle. So guys, let's just do it. One review. Do you have it in you? Okay, back to the show. This cast in film history. This movie's 3 hours long. You wish it was 9 hours long. There is not one moment in this movie. There's nothing to adjust. But my one criticism is Sam Rockwell's revelation, where they couldn't put this together. No one put this together, that the guy right now on death row was at the house where the girls disappeared. You have to just dismiss that. Everything else that we get in this movie, it's cinematic perfection. Often on my feed, I see like only the films. Oh my God, too. Even Gary Sinise is in this. Right, he plays the prosecutor. What are we doing with this movie, guys? Brent Briscoe. It's just endless names. Endless names you have seen in 100 movies. So, Quentin Tarantino has this thing that, I mean, it's not him. But they, I guess, put together like what he views as his perfect movies. And, it's stuff you would expect. It's like Jaws, Exorcist. But it's not this movie. So, we're having this like euphoric experience with The Green Mile. Also, based on a Stephen King book. Dare I say Green Mile might be the last Stephen King book that I read too. I remember borrowing the individual editions. The Green Mile was printed to emulate kind of like a pulp chapter feed, where every single month you get a different chapter and then things would later become books. Items like Dune, Frank Herbert's Dune, somewhat structured like this, where it became regulars in like Omni magazine before it kind of really caught fire publishing wise. But it was 7 to 8 volumes. When I started working in Philly, I read each one like on the train, one by one. Absolutely blown away. I think some of Stephen King's best work is the characters. It's not so much of what happens. It's not so much of the weird spookiness. Now, I know the Stephen King alumni, right? They've connected Green Mile to other aspects of the Stephen King verse, right? Is it The Shining? Is The Shining a part of... It's stuff like that, right? I know the mental institution's one that's been used in other films and stories. And when this movie came out, it was a big deal. It was a big deal during Oscars, during Oscar season. So let me just get into this revelation here. 1999, we can argue the most transformative year in American entertainment. This is also the end. Now, I talk about The Grinch because we have a lot of studio warehouse work done with The Grinch, meaning giant sets. The Grinch, Jim Carrey came out the next year. All these stories come out about Jim Carrey wearing the makeup and contact lenses, and it was really the movie that he like snapped. And we never got Jim Carrey back after he filmed The Grinch. He sacrificed himself for that movie. No one says this. We say it. Hopefully you say it now. He puts... the money means nothing when you lose your mind. My AKA film buffers. 2000 is the end. This is the last movie of the Hollywood blockbuster spectacle that, to go back to Jaws, a little bit on Star Wars, right? I almost said Jaw Wars. That Star Wars started. The American blockbuster. We saw some of the hype with Jurassic Park, also by Steven Spielberg. But it ends with Ron Howard and the Grinch and that entire production. That movie has carried on. All kinds of good reasons why. It's memeable. It's clippable. To counter that, on the dramatic sense, it ends with the Green Mile. We can feel the Hollywood agency in this movie. The names, everyone's connected. Everyone shares the vested interests of Creative Artists Agency, right? CAA. Could be, could not be, right? We would have to research. That's a tough thing to research too. The representation of actors from era to era, even throughout their career. But Hollywood got together. Hey, we represent Frank. We got this amazing script. This is a little bit of the envy we see in like an Entourage. If you guys ever go back to watch Entourage, please do. Where they compete for scripts and the script, the idea. They compete for the best ideas and they get these projects greenlit and put the best people on them. And there's this like feverish competition within the script and the idea. And we kind of see that end here, right? We have a amazing script. It's by the Shawshank guy. And Tom Hanks is interested. And then everyone just swarms to get this thing out of the gate. A little bit depressing once we get through that scenario. That this is the end of an era. Watching this movie, I get the same feeling as when I watch something like Giant or Gone with the Wind or Wizard of Oz, where they don't make them like this anymore. They just don't. Recently, The Materialist with Dakota, the 50 Shades girl, the Captain America guy, and Pedro Pascal. That movie. We'll talk about that coming up. We see that movie and we're like, wow, man, like this director, this is kind of like his first movie. And he's got this cast and he's got like a really strong script premise, like just the surface of the script. And you're like, yes. And then we see the poster of the three of them sitting at the table, kind of at a wedding or a banquet, that type of setting. Could be a bar mitzvah. Who knows? And you just say, we all know each other in some way, right? We're all represented in some way here, guys. But it's nothing like these movies. That's the big point, guys. As much as we want to pretend that this style of film never faded away, that it still permeates, it's still there, it's still outside the window, it's not. And we really want to say the competition for the best idea in film is gone. It doesn't mean there's not brilliant things out there. Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. So many people out there love it. I couldn't get past comparing it to Mary Shelley's. I was clear with that. So films still strike a chord. They still inspire. They still get traction in so many different ways. But the intent, I think that's what we're missing. It's such a wild thing. The cast, man, like every single, just Gary Sinise popping in, popping out. His scene's over, moving on. Like that type of thing, man. You gotta watch this movie, guys. Let's just leave it there. You gotta know this movie.
Roll sound.
Rolling.
Sound production, take 2.
Let's take this time real quick, aka Padders, my fellow film buffers, and let's just go over the schedule. This is years in the making. This type of rollout I've been planning for years, but we're finally here. So here we go. Early in the morning, that's the new stuff. 8 a.m. Now, 8 p.m., Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, these are movies maybe of something coming out, like if there's a Marvel movie coming out and we want to do a retrospective on that particular franchise, or if Sylvester Stallone comes back and gives us Rocky Part 18, we might want to use the later time slots for a week or two to go over all of the Rocky movies. Now, we have a lot of different threads on this podcast that's explored 8 p.m. So 8 a.m., 8 p.m. Wednesdays at 8 p.m., this is our creator spotlight. We could do an episode on Martin Scorsese, Steven Spielberg, some of the new guys, Spike Lee, even composers, guys like John Williams. This brings us into the weekend. Saturday, Sunday morning. Again, we're back at that 8 a.m. drop. We do cartoons because I want to emulate the times where you would wake up with a bowl of cereal and watch cartoons all day Saturday and all day Sunday, and then eventually you would get to touch grass because you would have one of your friends knocking on your door to play in a touch football game or even some baseball, basketball. The weekend nights, let's get into education. 8 p.m. Again, all of our drops are either 8 a.m. or 8 p.m. But the weekend nights, documentaries, and I focus on creative documentaries because I feel like a part of this film buff movement that we're all bathing in, that I'm super grateful for, is education. And some of where we're finding our facts, some of the general enjoyment, because I love documentaries, all of this is explored at 8 o'clock p.m. And trust me, there's a lot there. There's a lot out there that I didn't even know existed. And we're going to go beyond that too. We're going to get into some of the graphic art, some of the special effects, some of the makeup documentaries. There's a lot to learn, and I'm so happy to bring you the 9 p.m. because you guys know I'm an autodidact. I am self-educated. Sure, I have some certifications. Sure, I spend time at the Art Institute of Philadelphia for animation. But in large, I'm a self-educated, self-made person that's connected to the weekend 8 p.m. drops. My AKA Padders, my film buffers, I hope to see you there for all of it. I love you guys, and rock and roll.
Okay, that's a wrap. Okay, that's a wrap.